Hi guys, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do my June wrap-up. I read 5 books in the month of June. 4 of them were audiobooks, so that's where I'm at. I am currently in the middle of moving. By the time you see this, I will have already moved. Probably, maybe, we'll see. Everything's a mess. You can't really see it, you just see my doors, which is great. Also, June was Pride Month, and while I didn't have a specific Pride TBR set out, I did end up reading 2 books featuring LGBTQ plus characters, so I figured that was an important note during Pride. By the time you see this, I think the giveaway that I'm running will be over. If it's not, it'll be linked down below and somewhere on the screen, the video about it. But even if it is, you can still ask me questions for my Q&A, since I will probably not have filmed that video yet. So feel free to leave me any questions you want me to answer in a Q&A video down below. I would really enjoy having those questions. But anyway, let's get into the books that I read in the month of June. Picture Us in the Light by Kelly Lloyd Gilbert. I received a copy of this from Bookish First in exchange for an honest review. In this book, we follow a boy named Danny Chang, who is a Chinese-American teenage boy who's going into his senior year of high school. He seems to have everything going for him. He just got a scholarship to the Rhode Island School of Art and Design, or maybe it's just of design, don't remember what it's called, but he just got a scholarship there, and it's his dream school. He loves drawing, and his family is fully supportive of his art school dreams. So we follow Danny as he navigates his senior year basically, and he has to think about he's in California, Rhode Island is across the country. He's thinking about leaving his family and his friends behind, specifically his best friend. Simultaneously, he also starts finding out about a secret that his parents may have been keeping. This book has a trigger warning for suicide and depression. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. I had no idea what to expect when I picked it up because, like I said, I got it from review from Bookish First, and I was just blown away by everything about it. I thought the writing was so well done. Once again, I love when characters have a specific hobby that they are very passionate about, and like I mentioned, Danny is very passionate about drawing and art, and so all the descriptions of him trying to find his way through his drawings were really well done, and I really liked them. The diverse aspect of this book was really well done. Like I mentioned, Danny is Chinese American, and almost all of the main and side characters were Asian or Asian American, and being Asian American was actually discussed within this book, and it wasn't just kind of a throwaway, which I really appreciated. Danny is part of the LGBTQ plus on the spectrum. It's not defined, but he is in love with another boy, so he's male attracted to at least one other male, so whatever that is, but it's not a specific orientation that's defined or anything. And it's also not really a big deal in the sense that it's not, his conflict with it isn't really about the fact that it's a male character, and it's more about who the character is. But like I said, I love this book. The only thing that I think some other people might have problems with is it does feel kind of long-winded at some points because it takes place over the entire senior year. So I can see how someone might find it to be a little long, but I enjoyed every moment. I was thoroughly engrossed, and like I said, I loved it, so I really recommend it. Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. I listened to the audiobook, which was read by Carolyn Lee. This follows 3 women who are parents of children in a specific kindergarten class, and it's kind of the conflict that happens. And at the beginning of the book, you find out that someone is killed, and you don't know who is killed, and you don't know how they were killed or who killed them. So the whole book is kind of leading up to that, and we follow the 3 main characters as we get led up to finding out what happens. This book has a trigger warning for domestic violence and abuse, and I really enjoyed this as well. I gave it 4.5 stars. I did not expect this book to go as deep as it goes. I thought that this was going to be a run-of-the-mill whodunit kind of thing, but it was definitely so much more. I really enjoyed all the characters. I especially liked Madeline. The mystery aspect also kept me involved, and I had no idea who was killed or who killed them or anything like that throughout the whole book. I could also be that I'm bad at guessing, but I didn't think it was predictable at all. So yeah, I had a good time reading it, and I will continue to read Liane Moriarty's books, and this is a good one that I recommend. The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish. I listened to the audiobook, which was read by Tiffany Haddish. This is Tiffany Haddish's memoir. She's a comedian who kind of gained more prominence because she was in the movie Girls Trip last year, 2017? Yeah, I think so. I haven't actually seen Girls Trip, so maybe I'm the wrong audience for this, but I still enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 stars. This book also has a trigger warning for domestic violence and abuse. I guess this wrap-up has a theme, and also has a trigger warning for ableism if you're triggered by that. I did enjoy this. I think Tiffany was really funny. I've honestly never heard her do anything. I don't really watch movies. I still need to watch Girls Trip. I do want to watch Girls Trip after this. I didn't know anything about her before. I did not expect to learn the things that I ended up learning about Tiffany through this book, so it was definitely enjoyable for that. Or not enjoyable, because a lot of stuff that she grew up with was definitely like sad and like kind of depressing, but like she still managed to put a positive spin on it. However, the like reason I got 3.5 stars instead of 4 stars is that some of the jokes and stories weren't like, there was ableism in one and like fat shaming in a couple of them. I feel like that if you don't want to read that, you shouldn't read it, you know? So I'm putting it out there in the world, and like I think those stories could have been told without her doing that. The second to last book that I read in June was Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. This book just came out in May, maybe. Was it May? I don't know when it came out. But I got the audiobook because I was ahead of the game and I requested it before it came out. I didn't write down who narrated the audiobook, so I don't know, but I did listen to the audiobook from my library. This is basically a sequel, kind of, companion to Simon vs. the Homo sapiens agenda. You probably know all this, but in this book we follow Leah, who is bi, and she's only out to her mom and not out to any of her friends, so it's about her kind of navigating that and just navigating her senior year with all the friends and people we met in Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. A lot of people didn't like it because Leah's kind of a brat and she's kind of a bitch. Not gonna lie, especially to her mom, which I do not condone. But other than like the mom part, I kind of found Leah pretty relatable, so I don't know what that says about me, other than being a bitch to your mom, because that would never fly in my house. I wasn't in love with the romance. I thought it was pretty messy, and I just didn't like how it was. And then the ending felt like it was wrapped up too neatly in a bow, so I wasn't a fan of that either. But I liked reading about Leah, just being back in the story. A lot of people felt that the characters were like out of character from what they were in Simon. I couldn't tell you because it's been years since I read Simon, so I really just don't remember. But I enjoyed it. If it's been a while since you read Simon, maybe you'll enjoy this more than if you reread Simon and then go immediately into this. I don't know. And then the last book that I read in June was Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Once again, I listened to the audiobook. This was narrated by Neil deGrasse Tyson. This is kind of, as the title says, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. It just gives you kind of like a high level information about astrophysics, some basic physics stuff, like stuff about space and like black holes, the planets, stuff like that. Even though I know it's supposed to be high level, I still thought it was a little too broad. I know astrophysics, now I know astrophysics is like a broad genre, I don't know how to explain it, but like, you know, category of like science. But I still felt like it was too broad. Like, not that we should have gone super deep into it, but I just feel like we should have focused on less stuff. The parts that I enjoyed the most were like the stuff about the planets and the actual like stuff in space. There was a lot of stuff about like black holes, and to learn about that you need to know like quarks and stuff, which if this is going over your head, it went over my head too. But it's a lot of stuff from like physics, like regular physics, that I like have a vague memory of learning about and then like not being able to answer the questions on the test. So I feel like in order to like really get the most out of this, you need to like have a basic working knowledge of physics, and I didn't. So maybe that's my fault, but it does seem to be targeted at like people who don't know anything. So I think that should have been included into this book if possible. But I don't know. I know more than I knew before I read this book, so that's a win. That's really what I was looking for out of this book. I gave it 3.5 stars. My other issue was like the last chapter felt really preachy, which I didn't really love. Those are all the books that I read in June. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up in the comments down below. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, and let me know what was your favorite book that you read in June. My favorite book was by far Picture Us in the Light by Kelly Lloyd Gilbert. I didn't figure out how to say her last name, but that was my favorite book in June. Let me know yours, comments down below. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make more videos where I talk about books. And also make sure to hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post a video. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!